All right. Good morning, everyone. It is 9 a.m. I'm going to call this meeting of the Codington County Board of Commissioners to order. It is Tuesday, September 7th, 2021. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. And Commissioner Gable, would you lead us today?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Call for public comment. We will still take calls from individuals about items that are not on the agenda for information only. The two phone numbers are 882-6248 and 882-6297. I also might mention if you would silence your cell phones, it would be much appreciated. If you need to take a call to step out, and we are streaming live on YouTube. Conflict of interest items. Are there any for fellow commissioners on the agenda?
No.
Action to approve the September 7th,
So moved.
2021 agenda. Motion by Van
Second.
Duzen, second by Gable. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Action to approve the August 24th, 2021 minutes of the Connington County Board of Commissioners.
So moved.
Motion by
Second.
Johnson, second by Waterman. Any additions or corrections? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. All right, since we do have a public hearing at 9 a.m. regarding our Connington County 5-year county highway bridge improvement plan. I don't know if Rick wants to come up and mention something first, then I'll open up the public hearing on that. I'll just pull it. Good morning, Rick.
Hi, Rick.
This is our 5-year bridge plan and all the bridges. You guys got a copy of the 5-year plan or not? Here's a list of the bridges that are on the plan. Mr. Junker is with Banner Associates. If you have any questions, he helped put this together. He's gonna put on a presentation for our bridge inspection program. So hopefully we have everything where it should be. Everything's subject to change. You know, you get a load limit put on something that kind of speeds the process up. But he's going to report that we didn't have any new load limits put on this year, so.
But this is just a
This
public
is-
hearing right
yep.
now.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So with that, then I will open up the public hearing on our Codington County 5-year county highway bridge improvement plan. If there are any individuals who would like to speak to the board in relation to that. Not appearing that we have anyone here. I will close the public hearing then on that. All right, is there any other information then that you, we'll maybe leave Mark where he's at, just because we have a few other things, if that works on the agenda to get that. So we don't get in the middle and then have to be interrupted, so.
Okay.
All right, so we have that part taken care of. We'll come back to him for the report later.
All right. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Okay, monthly reports, extension, she's probably not going to be here
I did
this
not
morning.
hear from them. so-
Yeah, I'm sure they're wrapping things up.
Are on our way home.
Yeah. So we'll move then on to the Veteran Service Officer, Todd Rose.
Thank you.
And I think before you get started, I have a little announcement to make in regards to you. Todd Rose received the 2021 SDDAV New Veteran Service Officer of the Year Award. Just want to read part of this here. Rose was recognized by his peers at the annual benefit conference on Monday, August 16th in Pierre. Rose, the County Veteran Service Officer for Codington County, was recognized for his desire to acquire and absorb information to assist his veterans and for his outstanding ability to communicate with veterans and their families. So we would like to congratulate you on that award and appreciate all your work that you're doing here for us in
Let's give 'em a
Codington
hand.
County.
Congratulations.
Yes, very good.
Well, thank you. Way to start off the morning here. So I don't have a lot of notes. Our transports with the DAV vehicle were fairly limited or just didn't have very many in August. And we only have one currently scheduled for September. Again, I reached out. They still don't know anything as far as when we're going to get the van, but again, it should be coming here hopefully soon. So I did attend the conference out there in Pier, and I did get certified for another year, so that's a plus. Watertown High School made arrangements. I don't know if you guys are aware, with the city of Watertown, and they're moving all the gymnastics equipment over into the auditorium. If you were aware of that, that's a long-term lease that they did there. So we'll be having that, and it's basically closed to the public for walking from that standpoint. Cottington County Veteran of the Year was selected and the trophy is completed. Still planning to give that out either on the 16th of September at the First Responder and Veterans event out at the Bernie Edwards Readiness Center. If not, it'll be given out at the Veterans Day program like we did last year. Future things, I just mentioned, we have the booth at the Watertown Annual Veterans and First Responders Appreciation Day on the 16th of September 21 out at the National Guard Readiness Center. It's going to start, I believe, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon for the vendors. The event, a small little program will be started at 6 from that standpoint. We will be, I was reached out by Operation Chowline. This is a event that is put on by the Community Action for Veterans out of Sioux Falls, along with the Volunteers of America. That's going to be held at the Watertown Readiness Center on the 7th of October from 10 o'clock to 1:30. There's a free meal that starts at 11 to 1:30. This is basically addressing food insecurities, needs for veterans, service members, their family members, and caregivers. They've done this in Huron and they did it in Yankton. They had good success there. It's just an opportunity. There'll be some booths set up out there also for another chance to get out and talk to the veterans. Veterans Day 2021, this is a continued from last month. Still on plan for the DFW Post 750 to schedule and hold this event on the 11th of November at the Watertown High School. Still working out they're working with the school to work out the details and stuff of that nature. Other than that, are there any questions or concerns for me?
Congratulations.
Yes.
Okay, everybody have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks, Todd.
Okay, I think before we move on to item number 8, our sheriff came in. I am going to let him have the floor for just a few moments here. They need to move on to another meeting.
The
So,
agenda item 18.
okay. Yeah, it's under personnel.
Want to step up here, Brett?
We'll handle one of them.
We only have
That
one.
is the one. Okay.
It's the only one we've got, so.
All right.
Good morning. Thanks for jumping in just a little bit early here. Got to run to another one after this here. But I just wanted to come up here and share. I'd like to promote Sergeant Sloan to Chief Deputy. He's an upstanding, well-deserved for this position. Our office has run so much smoother with him in this being sergeant. He's kind of been doing the position here for about a year now, maybe a little longer than that. Well-deserved, so I figured might as well put the actual badge on that deserves the title here. So asking, I'm going to promote him to Chief Deputy.
All right.
Congratulations.
Yes, very good.
We'll need a motion in a
We need a
second.
motion to do this.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Johnson. I don't know. We got a tie. We'll let Troy have the second because I think
Second.
him and Myra were both. Any other comments, questions that anyone would like to make at this time? And then we'll vote.
I've had the opportunity to work with Brent for several years now, and I recognize him to be of the utmost ethical standards, high quality law enforcement officer that you'll find. And I have no doubt that you're going to serve the residents of Codington County very well in your chief deputy position, and congratulations.
We appreciate everything you've done and well-deserved promotions. So thank you.
Congratulations.
Keep up the good work.
Absolutely. We ready to vote? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion carries.
Can I just have his wife come up here quick?
You sure can.
He's got a vest on, so it pierce it harder.
Yeah, I know.
Just don't draw blood. Does she dress you every morning?
Yeah. We did order a new badge for you. It's supposed to be here by today, but it'll be here next week, it sounds like. So.
We've heard that before. Congratulations.
All right. Yeah, hopefully I got a few good ones. Yes, thank you. Okay, lots of fun things happening today, lots of good promotions and awards. We'll move then on to item number 8, discussion with Ray Kranz Insurance regarding our employee health insurance renewals. Good morning, Ray.
Morning, Ray.
Morning, Ray.
Thank you for coming again.
Sure,
Appreciate it.
glad you came.
You all one of these again?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I think you all know what the renewal is. So if you look on the right side of that, on the first page, definitely goes through what the renewal is there. It's this side of it, the front. And obviously it's an 8.3% increase, which we never like to see that high, but considering the claims history here, I was very happy with it. And I know it's hard to say that, but it's unfortunately the way it is here. So at any rate, the rates will go from 777 to 842 for the singles, 1943 to 2105, but they still have the other choices. They'll go up to 8.3% as well. So on the left side, and stop me if you have any questions, because basically I'm going to make this short and sweet because it's pretty simple, but I'm going to show you kind of what the rate history is and then what the claims history has been here. So if you take a look on that first page, that goes through the rate history here. And that goes from 2013 to 2022. So you see, I mean, once we went to the hospital systems instead of Blue Cross, the rate was down quite a bit. We've saved quite a bit of money. Unfortunately, we're back up to where we were, 21% higher than we were at the beginning. But the rate for this year increases 8.3%. You know, if you take a look through the history, it kind of explains everything where it's at, where it's been. Pretty self-explanatory there. It does on number 2, they took in $921,223 of premium from June of 2020 through May of 2021. Paid out $832,000 and $832,827 in medical bills, and another $93,226 in prescriptions. So they actually paid out $926,053, which lost about $4,800. That the previous year was $864,000. They paid out $849,000. The year before that was $794,000, paid out $1.1818 million. So if you add those 3 years alone, I mean, obviously there's more years that are in there, and I'll show you more on that. They lost $375,000, and that does not include administrative costs. for Sanford. So all of the costs for the network, just handling the bills, claim, everything else, commissions are all outside of that. So on the next page, I just wanted to show you what the benchmark premiums are, just to give you an idea of what has happened in the individual market. Unfortunately, there's no benchmark for the group market that I can find anywhere. But the benchmark premiums for the individual market there, what you'll see in 2014, the premiums for I'll just explain what a benchmark is. A benchmark is the second lowest cost single coverage for a silver plan. A silver plan is a medium range plan, so it's an average plan in South Dakota for a 40-year-old person under the ACA. And this is all stats from the Kaiser Foundation. So, but at any rate, in 2014, the rate was $286. Went to 264 after the first year. Then it went to 329, 456, all the way up to 618 for January of this year. We don't have any stats for 2022 yet. If you take that increase, it's 216% over the last 7 years. It's crazy how bad it's been. Our rate at Codington County went from 660 in that year to 842 today, which is 21%. I think it's done pretty well, and I know it's tough to say that when we have a 8.3% increase, but at the same time. On the next page, it goes through.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No problem.
So the point of this is not the actual premium amounts, it's the rate of increase is what you're.
Yes,
highlighting here.
yeah, the rate of increase on standard plans, because I was asked to kind of go over what other insurance has done.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this is the only benchmark we can go by.
Okay,
And, because there's groups are all over the place.
yeah,
The problem is, no matter what, with groups, it all depends on your group.
right.
And so I can't compare it with other groups. They don't, it just doesn't, there's no stats out there for that. So I tried to do the best I could. I know it's not, I know it's not the
get it.
same,
Yeah, I get it.
Yep.
Thank you.
but it's the best I could do with this. So on the next page, it goes through claims history. So if you take a look at the claims for this is 2017 to 2020. The total premium billed in 2017 was $793,000. That's what Connington County paid. Now, the stats on some of the other figures, when you look in the back here, if you look behind the renewal, those are June to June. So that's where the confusion comes. So they're not the same. So if you're looking at those, they kind of show pretty close to the same, but they're different. On this, I went from January to January to December 31st, because I wanted to do what your calendar year is. So when Sanford does their renewal, they date that through May, because they have to do your renewal for next year based on what plans they have. So that's why their statistics are based on through May. So at any rate, in 2017, you had premium billed of $719,000. You paid, they paid out $615,000 or $614,595. One of the reasons why it's better the first year on a renewal is because some of the claims come in late. And so the first year looks pretty good a lot of times with a lot of companies. The second year, they took in $774,000. They paid out $949,300. That's 122% loss. The third year, they took in $821,000, paid out $954,000. That's 116% loss. The fourth year, 2020, they took in $910,000. They paid out $1,017,000. That's 111% loss. Now, again, remember, this is not no administrative costs. This is pure claim versus what they paid out. The big advantage, again, I know we talked about this last year, is they're paying themselves, so it helps. But it's still real money.
Yeah.
It would have been a different company, that's what they'd had to pay. I did not do 2021 because it's incomplete. But so far, on the latest statistics I got, they're at 129% loss ratio. So So. Wanted to point that out. So 8.3% to me was very fair. And I don't
Sounds
want
pretty good.
I don't want to be, but I just want to make sure you see why I say what I say.
It was 11 last year.
And I don't know if you have any questions on that.
No, I appreciate you coming by.
Oh, no, I appreciate it.
We're always wondering, should we recompete this? And, but, I appreciate your.
Yeah, it's tough because the competition, there's not a lot of competition out there in the first place. I mean, we have Avira, Sanford, and Blue Cross. Avira doesn't really work in Watertown very well because the Sanford clinic's not in it.
Mhm.
So we have basically Sanford and Blue Cross right now. And it's be tough with these type of plans for Blue Cross to compete with that.
Mhm.
It's up to you if you want to.
No, that's, I
Yeah,
appreciate
but I
your
mean, I
opinion.
don't. I'm not
We
here to
looked at-
say you
we-
shouldn't, but I know.
Did we look at that last year or the year before, I think?
When you look at those
But,
3 years of losses, 2017 was actually the last year they made money.
And they really didn't make money. That was just the first year the plan were in.
Yeah, that was that 6-month thing. right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, it's the year, but by the time the plan begins, so when they start on January 1st, it's March before they pay anything. So the first 2 months are crazy.
It's,
So, yeah.
much as we don't like it.
I kind of
It's-
go by,
it's,
about 2 weeks ago at our commission meeting, I made the comment that I really hadn't heard from any of our employees and concerns about the insurance, whether they didn't feel that they were getting treated right or their service was poor, and I hadn't heard from anyone, and here it is 2 or 3 weeks later, and I still haven't heard from anyone, and that's good news.
Yeah.
And that kind of tells me that things must be working all right. So thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it all from all of you. And if there's ever any questions, make sure you call me. I'm glad to
Yep.
try and help any way I can.
Ray will definitely make time.
Sure. I sure will.
Ray's office comes into to this office once a month for half an hour. And any employee who has any questions is notified that he's here or one of his representatives are here. And usually there's 1 or 2 people that do stop in. I will tell you that we had our district meeting a few weeks ago. And the auditors I met with could not believe how low our premiums were compared to some of theirs. So I mean, they're not low, but we're still lower than a lot of counties are paying right now.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know the statistics aren't the same for individual as they are for group, but they're not that far off.
Right, yeah.
So the rates have held very well.
Definitely. When we switched in 2016, they were up to 696 and we had a cost savings clear up till 2020. We were
Yeah.
paying less than we were back in 2015. So
Yeah, it's.
Would they lock that in for 2 years?
Just keep fighting for us, Ray. Appreciate it.
If I could talk them into 5 years.
yeah,
So, I
Nobody
remember,
let me-
a couple of years ago, we actually talked about it. I don't know if you remember that, but we had the 25% rate increase that we talked down to 15.
mhm.
Yes.
And I remember at that time, we were hoping we should talk them into 215.
Right.
Yeah.
And it ended
Right.
up, what, 11% last year?
I think so, and
Yeah.
this
And
year,
eight.
so we're still way ahead of talking them
Yeah.
into doing
Of where
215.
they, yeah.
Mhm.
I remember that conversation.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so at any rate, if there's any questions, make sure you call me. I appreciate you. letting me
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thanks,
coming.
Thanks for coming.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Thank you.
Nobody likes to see insurance go up, but that's part of
Neither do
it.
we.
No,
Thank you.
definitely. Thanks, Ray. Item number 9, action to declare equipment surplus to be sold at public auctions. Cindy.
And this is just a various list of equipment. It's not really anything that we need to take action on every single item. We'll be taking actions on the 2 sheets in your handout that were provided. There's several things here that are being declared obsolete to destroy, and then several that are being placed on the auction. 2 Arctic Cat snowmobiles will go on. There's an Easy Load trailer, 1994, that will go on. That's not on your list. It was updated on the search and rescue and emergency management list just this morning. Just a few things on the the general offices, there's an Epson printer, 10-inch jet saw table, a vacuum, and I guess I can't tell you if these things are all in working condition or not. But there's a number of things from the courthouse, the jail, veteran service office, welfare, weed, park, and ag building. Too numerous to mention, but these items on the plain white sheet will go on the auction. And then you can see on the emergency management list, there's 2 items listed plus the loader, easy loader trailer they put on this morning to be declared.
Cindy, just for the public's information, do you know when that auction is? And is that a joint auction between city and county both?
August 25th, joint with city.
It is joint with city. September 25th.
And that will be held at out at the extension. Is that where it will be, Steve? Okay.
I'll make a motion to declare this equipment surplus.
Second.
All right, motion by Gable, second by Waterman. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, that motion carries. All right, item number 10, we will hear a presentation from Mark Junker with Banner Associates on the 2021 bridge inspection report. Good morning.
Morning. You guys have, I do have printed out copies.
They do too. Yep, we do.
Okay.
Thank you.
You might want to say your name into the microphone so that they can get it on the tape.
Sure.
Okay,
Mark Junker, Banner Associates.
thank you, Mark.
Thank you for the opportunity to meet with the commission this morning. Again, my name's Mark. If you want to flip over the next slide there. This is my 18th summer of doing bridge inspections. The purpose of this presentation today, just give you a brief overview of the 2021 inspection results. And I did meet with Rick and Lynn before the meeting with you guys this morning. They have a big binder with all the reports and detailed photos and repair recommendations. So I've gone over that stuff already with Rick and Lynn. Next slide there. And just a brief overview of the bridge inspection program. A bridge is considered anything with an opening more than 20 feet along a roadway, whether it be on a township road or a county road. And it is a federal requirement that all bridges 20 foot or longer be inspected every 2 years. There is an exception to that, to some box culverts that are in good condition can be stretched out to a 4-year cycle. The DOT in South Dakota does pick up 80% of the tab, so the county pays 20% of the inspection costs. And we are out there inspecting the bridges for the safety of the public. And just putting a plug in for my profession. I am a professional engineer, and I have a ethical obligation to protect the public above and beyond the company I work for and whatever client I'm working for. So this is my second year here in front of the commission. It's something relatively new. In past years, always just met with the highway superintendent to go over inspection results. You guys have 40 bridges on the inspection list. And I consider this year to be more of the easier year of inspections. 1/3 of them are inspected during odd years. So that's the cycle we're on right now. And no new weight limit restrictions for 2021. You do currently have 5 bridges in the county that do have weight limit restrictions. If you want to flip to the next slide there. So the green dots are your bridges that have no weight limit restrictions, and the map here does show the 5 locations that do currently have a weight limit restriction posted at the bridge. You do have one on your county asphalt one on county gravel, and then 3 of them are on township roads. And there is one bridge currently under construction just east of Watertown on Highway 7. Yep. And maybe you can flip to the map while I'm talking about this too. The next one. So this next map here kind of shows an estimated lifespan remaining on your bridges within the county. The red dots represent bridges with a expected lifespan of 10 years or less. The orange 15 or less, and then the blue 20 years or less, and then the green dots represent expected lifespans more than 20 years. So coming down the pipeline in the near future here, your bridges with 10 years or less, you have 2 of those on county asphalt, and both of those are currently both of them have gotten grants already to kind of begin the preliminary engineering process for replacement on your county asphalt roads. And then you do have one on county gravel. That one also has received a grant for preliminary engineering. So your 3 that are on county roads with the shortest expected lifespans are currently in the process to start replacement.
Next one.
Yep. Not a huge amount of repairs or recommendations to Rick's crew this year, but some of the things that did run across this summer is some areas of concrete that are deteriorated that should be fixed. Areas along roadways and the wing walls of a bridge add riprap, help prevent future erosion or the road washing out during a flood event. Also, one wing wall that's tipping towards a channel that should be stabilized, and some dirt on top of components of the bridge that need to be removed to prevent the pile cap from rotting in the future. I want to flip to the next slide here that shows some of the pictures. This is an example of a box culvert with some concrete deterioration that should be repaired when conditions allow, when it's dry enough to get under there and do the work. Next slide here. This is a 2-span bridge over the Big Sioux River. This is on a township road. This is an example of a bridge that'll likely see a weight limit sign in the future. It has built on timber abutments supporting the ends of the bridge, and a lot of rotting starting to occur on those timber piles at the water line. Something just keeping an eye on right now and monitoring closely.
What's the likely lifespan of this particular bridge, Jim?
I think I had that one pegged at 15 years
Okay.
and less, so this would be one of the orange dots on your map.
How urgent of a situation is that? I mean, we're starting to see some initial rotting of the timbers.
From my experience, it takes a while for the rotting to progress and get to the point where it needs a load posting sign. And just something we keep track of and monitor. So it does have some life in it, but this is an example of one that's gonna likely see a load limit sign in the near future to hopefully keep some trucks off of it. Next photo here, this is a bridge on Old Highway 81 north of Watertown. And this is another bridge built on timber abutments that keep a real close eye on. Go along with a hammer and pound about every square foot of the timber piles and the timber cap. I mean, this is a real important bridge. Probably an example of a bridge that we don't want to let deteriorate to the point it needs a load posting because of the gravel mining operation by Rawville there. That would be a huge inconvenience for trucks. So it's in decent condition now. Example of something that we really keep a close eye on, try to give you guys a heads up before it would need the load posting. Next slide. This is another bridge on a township road over the Big Sioux. It's on the same township road that goes by the dump pit south of Watertown. And this is an example of one of the bridges that needs riprap along the wing wall and even up along the roadway embankment a ways to help prevent future scour, future erosion during a flood event. Also has a wing wall that's leaning towards a channel that needs to be stabilized. Next slide. I know we like to pick on the bridges that are in poor condition. So this is an example of a bridge on your county system that's in very good condition, built in '95. It's had zero maintenance or zero problems since the day it was built. So our newer structures are hopefully built better, last longer, and require less maintenance over their lifespan. So
Are the newer bridges getting away from the timber structure? It looks like this is concrete.
correct. We don't build timber abutments anymore and timber components because I think it was done in the 70s and 80s because it was economical, easy to put in, but you know, all those bridges that were built in that time are coming due right now for replacement because they just don't last.
So there's so for the timber abutments, there's no way, I'm not an engineer, obviously, but so you have to replace the whole bridge, is what you're saying, in those kind of situations when the time comes.
I've had two past projects where we've tried lifting the beams off and then just replacing the abutments with like pounding steel pile in and like steel sheet pile to replace the timber with steel abutments and then set the beams back on. By the time you end up doing all that work, it's about as expensive as a new bridge. So you're probably better off in the long run looking at a total replacement.
Okay.
But there are repairs you can do to try to get another couple decades out of something too, instead of totally replace it. If it's not in the budget to do a total replacement, say on one of these larger bridges on a township road over the Big Sioux, you know, there are repairs that can be done to try to get another decade or two out of the bridge. So as I alluded to before, you probably are going to have some more weight limit restrictions coming up here in the future. 3 of them we're keeping an eye on county asphalt. 2 of those are on old Highway 81 north of town. They were on last year's bridge inspection cycle. And then another one we're keeping an eye on is that 14th Avenue North Bridge, just north of the highway shop there. That one currently does have a grant to do the preliminary engineering work on it. So that's started the process there. And so your major sources of funding are through the big program through the DOT. You currently have 2 bridges in the big program through the DOT. And these last 2 years, there's been an additional $20+ million that's been cycled down to counties. It's called the local federal bridge replacement program. And you did get one bridge in that program this last time around. So you got a piece of that money to replace one of your bridges on county asphalt south of Watertown. So
Is that money fed into the big program?
no, it's separate money from the big program. So it's called the local federal bridge program is what they've named that money.
Is that a match?
Correct. The county's paying roughly 18% of the cost, and then that grant program picks up the rest. So happy to answer any questions you might have.
Anyone have any questions? Yeah, I'm not hearing any, so.
No, appreciate the report. It's well done and explains a lot of things. So we appreciate it very much.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate your business and the partnership with the county, and look forward to continuing that partnership. So,
Thank you for the report.
all right, thank you.
Mark?
Okay, let's move on then to item number 11, action to amend the 2019 Highway Infrastructure Program Fund Allocation Grant Agreement, and Rick will fill us in on what that entails.
This was money that we received in 2019. It was allocated for bridge repair. And we're using that on the bridge that's the deck's being replaced on the east side of town on County Road 75. That was $134,373.84.
Right. So we need a,
I'll make a motion to make that amendment.
all right, we have a motion by Gable,
Second.
second by Van Duzen. Any questions or comments for that, or on that? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Hi.
Opposed? That motion carries.
I want to thank Mark for all the hard work he does on the bridge inspections and giving you a nice report on the bridges. The one bridge he was talking about, the last one about the allocation for the local federal,
Right.
that's on County Road 20, east of State Highway 81, south of town, about 5 miles.
Okay.
So, and that's a pretty important structure there.
There's road limits, or there's limits on that
Yes,
bridge.
that got limited last year, so,
That's on an asphalt road, right?
yes, it is.
Mhm.
It is. There's a lot of traffic that uses that road.
Yes, there
Good.
is.
It's down to the bottom.
Yep. Across the Big Sioux.
Yeah.
So I have a vague memory of that discussion, but since it's a different pot of money, are the wickets different than, say, the big program? As far, the process is different. to get-
Both the same,
Okay,
both the same.
We have been approved for that funding for that bridge,
Yeah, for the
the preliminary
engineering grant.
engineering.
Yep.
Actually, Rick, that one was all the way to replacement. You're getting one all the way.
Okay.
so.
Nice.
And that's why we have Mark,
Yeah,
he's the bridge man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so does it impact the 5-year plan? And I mean, does that have to get?
That's
does that-
part
does
of
that
That's
cause an
in there.
adjustment?
In there
Okay,
too, so.
all right.
that was one of them.
yeah, okay.
Well, very good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bridges aren't cheap, so we can use the help for sure.
All right, next we'll move on then to item number 12. It is the public hearing on the 2022 Connington County Provisional Budget. That was put in the newspapers for the public to be able to review. And so this process is, we will have a public hearing every Tuesday in September for anyone who has any questions or comments on our provisional budget, and any commissioners as well will deal with anything you may have questions as well. So at this time, I will open up the public hearing on the 2022 Connington County Provisional Budget. Seeing anyone? So I will go ahead and close the public hearing on the 2022 Connington County Provisional Budget. Is there any commissioners that have any comments or at this time? We will be doing this next week. Obviously, we do not meet. And then we will have 2 more opportunities before we adopt it then on the 28th.
I will tell you that I had one of the nonprofits who had not submitted their budget previously or an appropriation request. So that came in, it was for the Millette Memorial Association for $6,000. And if you so wish, you can take action on the 28th, I'm sorry. On the 28th is the time we will take action to adopt the budget. And at that time, you have the opportunity to add this to the budget. I can tell you they do request funds each year in this amount, and they just submitted it to me last week. So, and the other item that has occurred since I had to publish this is we got our valuations for centrally assessed property from the Department of Revenue, and there was a substantial growth of one of those utilities, which will allow the county to levy an extra $90,000 in property tax and still stay within the limits set by the state of South Dakota. And by levying that extra amount that we are allowed, we will be lowering the cash applied to balance this budget. So it's in our best interests to take what we are allowed each year in order to maintain and keep up. Otherwise, if we don't take that funding, it's just to our detriment.
Yeah, that happened.
Yes, it happened a number
few
of years
years
ago.
ago.
So anyway, that's another item you can take action on when you adopt the budget. So just a couple of items of interest.
All right.
Can I ask a quick question? Oh,
Sure.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Margaret.
I just, the 19,358,544, that just jumped right up here. That's the total appropriation.
That's the total provisional budget is 19 million. It's up 1.3 million from last year. It's about a 7.7% increase.
What percent?
7.7 approximately, yes.
So I think the last time we saw that kind of increase was as we were getting ready to do the courtroom, and we did pulled some money in from reserves. So
Yes.
that's the last
Yeah.
time we saw that. And for people's, I mean, that's the wage and the compensation classification study that we did is probably the main driver this year.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
For the increase.
And a few larger projects that were
Yeah.
requested also.
The question I had, just to refresh my memory, in intergovernmental expenditures, and it's under the Road and Bridge Fund. I'm just can you refresh my memory what that is?
In the Road and Bridge Fund, that would be
Yes.
the money we get back from the state of South Dakota for the proper, when people license their
Okay.
vehicles. That's
Okay.
our share of the money from the licensing of vehicles to use to maintain our roads.
Thank you.
Right. Any other questions? Not, we will move on then to item number 13, which is to note meeting of the Connington County Commissioners, Tuesday, September 7th. Tonight at 5:30, we're going to have a combined meeting with the City Hall to conduct the second reading, public hearing and adoption of ordinances 75, 76, and 77. So hopefully all of you can make it to that. And also, I don't know if we have it on here. Oh, it is further down. We won't worry about that. Okay. We see Jamie here, discussion possible action to pass a resolution to enact ban on open burning if necessary. I'm not sure if that's why you're here or just, I think we're good. We're good, but you can just kind of give us a little update since you're here.
Absolutely. Well, since our last meeting, nothing's really changed. I did notice the Drought Monitor, we're still all in the D0 category for the county. Other than the southern and southeastern part tip, still in the D1 category. But along with that, we received, up until last Thursday, they released that Drought Monitor. It was showing our precipitation prior to that, the last day of August, we were at 4.77 inches for the month. through the National Weather Service recording at the municipal airport. Noted some of our wettest to our neighbors to the north, Grant County, Roberts County, Day County, all received anywhere between 6.5 and 9 inches. So one of the wettest Augusts on record since late 1800s, early 1900s.
Yeah.
That was something they brought up in one of our regional meetings last week, but as we're sitting now, no, everything is looking very well. We're still continuing to be blessed. I don't foresee anything changing for a while with what we received in the last 6-8 weeks. So,
Very good.
Thanks.
all righty.
Nice.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thanks,
bet.
Jamie. Item number 15, action to approve claims for payment.
The claims we have today are August salary claims. Total amount of the claims are $608,554.33.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Van Duzen,
Second.
second by Gable. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that motion carries. Item number 16, action to authorize the auditor's office to pay claims on 9/14/2021.
And these are our normal monthly claims, and since the board is not meeting, it's in our best interest to process the claims. I don't remember the last time the board ever rejected a claim, and if that would happen with this bunch, we will have to just review that and try and take action on it. But in order to get our claims paid without past due and late charges, it's in our interest to, and then I will have you approve the claims list on the 21st.
Move to approve again.
Motion by Van Duzen, second by Gable. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that motion carries. Action to approve the automatic budget supplement road restoration fund.
We have paid Dunick $284,757.60 for the Hall Road Restoration Project, and we received those funds from the wind energy company. So we just need to do an automatic supplement to the highway budget with this amount, because this is not an amount that was planned in their 2021 budget.
So move.
Motion by
Second.
Johnson, second by Waterman. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that motion carries. All right, we already did our personnel change. Any travel requests?
None
Didn't
today.
See any, public notices, as I mentioned, there could be a forum of commissioners at the SDACC annual conference, 9th, 13th and 14th in Rapid, which also then note that we will not be holding our regular monthly meeting on, well, next Tuesday, the 14th. All right, any old business, or actually, yeah, we'll catch that. Any old business?
So just based on what you said, so the next budget hearing is gonna be the 21st.
21st and the 28th will have a final.
Okay.
Yep.
We have two more. Any old, any new?
Yeah, I have a question on the township meeting. When was it, last Monday?
Mhm.
Did I fall asleep? I never got a notice of the meeting. I didn't know what happened,
We mentioned it, I guess, during our
Yeah,
meeting.
so
There'd be a
it was
quorum.
but I never got an email or anything. How did that turn out?
It was good.
was
Good.
informative,
There was, yeah, only about 4 townships that didn't show up, so
4 townships didn't show
that
up.
didn't,
Okay,
yeah. I
So,
think
yeah,
it was around
basically,
that.
just, and Rick, so we had LTAP there. And then-
Yep.
And Rick also went over briefly how they're gonna, how he intends to do the inventory of this.
I
So
think it was in the
some-
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
I'm pretty
culverts and the
sure.
small
I know we
structures.
mentioned
So,
it.
I mean, essentially, he wants to work with some representative, and one of his guys work with a representative of each township and go through each structure in each township and hopefully get it done fairly expeditiously. And the idea is having the same guy from the highway shop do that, is to get a consistent, assessment of the inventory. And so then, and there's the LTAP is providing an app to make it a little easier. So you kind of go through the checklist. That's why I wanted to buy that iPad before, to make that more straightforward and quicker. So, yeah, I thought it was, I learned some things about, I don't know a lot about culverts and bridges and stuff, so I learned some stuff.
So it was well attended,
Yeah.
and it is in our best interest, because that is how the funding will be determined by the number of small structures we have in our county. So it was well received from everyone. All right.
I certainly would have been able to, I would have been happy to help contact the townships. I've had good rapport with the townships over the past many years been on. I chaired that board for many years,
Rick-
Townsend Township Board. So-
Rick kind of took that upon himself and his staff to contact them. So
Not, and I don't know if I fell asleep or what, but I just did.
He announced it at the meeting on
It
the
was-
24th.
yeah,
It was towards the
during
end of the meeting. It's in the minutes, so,
Fine.
okay.
All right, any new business? Anything for the open? I guess we've already mentioned we won't be meeting next week. Do we have any reason to enter an executive session this week? Not doing any? All right.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Gable to adjourn,
Second.
second by Van Duzen. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? We are adjourned. All right, very good.